Hi guys, welcome back, and today I'll be doing the next part for if Broly was raised by Frieza, and last time we saw how the Namek saga would go, with there being a lot of major differences throughout the arc. First of all, the likes of Vegeta dies, but Zarbon lives. Alongside that, we lose the transformation of Super Saiyan here, thanks to Broly raging out and showing off the Akari form instead. Now let's jump back into the story, where we see the likes of an unconscious Broly, and everyone just sort of stood around in shock, with the likes of Zarbon more shocked than anyone. After all the power that had just been shown, he has just stood there. He had almost died, and now he realizes what has happened fully. The amazing power of both Broly and Goku is incredible. With Zarbon heading over to his adopted son and picking him up, thanking the group in a roundabout way, not being very direct with it. He doesn't want them to think he is soft, but he is truly happy to be free from Frieza's wrath. Now, while Broly is unconscious, the group make the wish on the dragon, asking for the likes of Piccolo to be brought back to life alongside the likes of Yamcha and Chaozu. With these being brought back, Kami takes them back to Earth using his teleportation. Tien opted to stay in Otherworld, after all he's the one who wouldn't mind to get the extra bit of training in. And with the wishes made, the group start getting ready to head back to Earth. Zarbon's still holding the unconscious Broly. This didn't take them long to do, just a few moments. And he's unsure of what to do right now. He is clearly uncomfortable. He doesn't want to stay on Namek because he had killed people on this planet, Namekians, but he isn't sure whether to follow the group. With Goku seeing this, he says how if the pair would like to come to Earth with them, they should come now. Zarbon is kind of shocked. He was considering going with them anyway, but when Goku offered to do it earlier, he thought he was joking. Zarbon having no real good options, he decides to go with them, and soon they're all off in space. Broly has been laid on the bed, while Zarbon never moves from his side. Zarbon keeps to himself, and everyone heads off back to Earth. Now, even though Zarbon doesn't leave Broly's side, he isn't alone. The likes of Goku, Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma all get to learn more about Zarbon through this, learning how he drafted himself into the Cold Force years ago to make sure that no one would mess with him. With the group hearing something about the Cold Force, they thought it was the Frieza Force. They asked what Zarbon means, with the alien going on to explain how Frieza is the son of someone called King Cold, who once used to rule the Empire, but then handed it down to Frieza. And he goes on to explain how he is very strong, and they will need to keep an eye out for him. And the group hearing this decide that they should definitely be on the lookout for someone called Cold. And once they get back to Earth, they need to get to training to make sure they won't lose or die to him if he was to show up on Earth. Now, after a short bit of travel, the likes of Broly wakes up. He's in a bit of shock when he figures out where he is and what's going on, with him not remembering what happened against Frieza. With the group filling him in, which is incredible to Broly, he didn't think he could kill Frieza, whereas Goku just laughs, saying how he knew he was strong enough to win. With Broly having no response to this, he asks where they are going. Zarbon says how for now they are going to lay low on Earth until they have a plan. Broly is fine with this. He's taken an interest in Goku and also Gohan, so he's looking forward to getting to know them a bit more. With a week going by, the group soon make it back to Earth, with Bulma offering to accommodate the likes of Zarbon and Broly. The two take the offer up and spend a lot of time at Capsule Corp. Now, they aren't left alone, of course. The likes of Goku is interested in Broly, so he goes to visit the Saiyan a lot, with Gohan and Piccolo also joining them. With the likes of Broly not minding this, he quite likes the Earth group, and Zarbon doesn't mind them too much, but he isn't overly fond of them, not making any friendships right now. But he does like the life he is being given at Capsule Corp, and has taken a bit of a liking to everyday living on Earth. Now, not too long after making it back to Earth, Goku wanted to start learning about the power Broly used against Frieza. It seemed strong, not amazingly strong, but seems like it could be useful. With Goku asking Bulma to make a gravity chamber at Capsule Corp so that he can get better training in. With it not taking her too long to do, she gets to doing it, and the group gets to training in this gravity chamber, with the likes of Broly and Zarbon also joining in. The likes of Zarbon joins in so he can be strong enough to defend himself if King Cold was to ever show up, and Broly wants to train as he wants to learn more about his own power. Now, after a while of training, Broly one day reactivates his Akari form, which when he activates sends him into a blind rage. Begins to attack everyone and trying to destroy the nearby area, and it's not until Goku decides to take this seriously, using his Kaioken to knock Broly out, that it is stopped. At this point, the group realise that this form is going to be a bit of an issue. It seems that Broly can't control it, so if they want to train with it more, they're going to have to head out and make sure that there aren't anywhere that could get someone hurt if Broly was to rage out once again. So for now, they stop training in the gravity chamber, and the group begin to train not too far away from Mount Paozu, where we see Goku starting to help Broly control the power that he has within himself. And soon, Goku sees the connections between Broly and Gohan's rage powers. It's very interesting to Goku when he begins to coach both of them to get through this, using things like meditation with some help from Piccolo, which is helpful for the pair. Gohan begins to become a much more happy person because of it, slowly finding his balance between studies and training, whereas Broly begins to sort of take control of whatever power lies within him. Now, not everyone is overly keen on this meditation training. Piccolo loves it, but the last member, Zarbon, doesn't. He doesn't really take part in it, and after trying it once or twice, he always heads back to Capsule Corp whenever meditation training begins. Now, after about 2 months, Brody starts trying to use the Akari form once again, having felt like he has got control of whatever's inside of him for now. With him tapping back into the power one day, with him at first berserking for a few moments, and Goku almost getting ready to take him down and knock him out, before seeing him begin to calm down and take control. Everyone seeing this begins to praise the Sen, with Zarbon feeling a massive amount of pride after watching this. Doesn't show it like everyone else does, and doesn't really praise Broly, but Broly understands this. This is sort of how these two's relationship is. And after this is done, the group decide that they will celebrate, with Goku saying how they should head off and see Krillin, it's been a while, with everyone heading off towards Kame House, where they will have this celebration, with the likes of Broly and Zarbon meeting Master Roshi for the first time, and also seeing Krillin once again. With them heading there, the likes of Krillin is amazed to see the power that the group has seemed to have acquired over this time. However, it isn't the part that's interesting to me. The part I want to cover is someone who may or may have not been here at this point, someone who was forgotten in Z, someone who shouldn't be here right now, but she is in this timeline. This is the likes of Launch, who has stopped by the house to see the hermit. The blue-haired one has managed to take control for a while and just come back to see everyone. Now, the likes of both Broly and Launch hit it off quite well. Even though this Broly is a bit more Saiyan-like and has lost a few of his quieter traits, he's still gentle at heart. And put this alongside the fact that Goku and Gohan have been the people who he's been training with, he's a very good person at this point, and isn't too afraid to show his softer side. With obviously the blue-haired Launch liking this, and at some point during the day, blonde Launch appears. She sneezes, something caught her off guard, and she gets ready to start arguing with everyone, trying to figure out what's going on. But Brody stands up to her. Brody isn't someone to be pushed around in this timeline. He stands up and puts her in a place, which blonde Launch loves. She wasn't expecting it from everyone. After all, most people are scared of her. But yeah, this grabs blonde Launch's attention, and this leads to the two deciding to meet up another day, with them two starting to see one another over the next few months, with this leading to Zarbon having to find his own things to do during their downtime when they're not training, with him deciding to hang around the likes of Capsule Corp, which leads him to spend more time with Yamcha and Bulma. And in this timeline, the likes of Yamcha and Bulma are still together here, with Zarbon taking a liking to Bulma because of her expensive taste and how she acts. He'll go and get wine with her at some point and do, very high-end things. As with Yamcha, he's introduced to some more Earth interests, and they do just weirdly get along. Doesn't understand it fully, but he doesn't mind it. It's just someone else he knows now. Now, a few months pass, and the group bring back the likes of Tien. Alongside this, the likes of both Goku and Gohan unlock the Akari form during this time. The pair work towards mastering it, with them also working towards it with Broly. And after a year had passed since, Namek, one day, a weird power appears on Earth, with them all going over to check it out. This isn't a power they've ever felt before. And upon arrival, they see a weird machine with someone stood in front of it. He sees the group, gives them a wave, with everyone confused. They all look at one another before the person speaks up. Hey, guys, I was hoping you'd all come to me. Makes my trip a bit easier. With everyone confused, they give this person a look, with him asking to speak to Goku in private, and he'll explain everything. Goku obviously agrees to do so, and he is pulled away from the group. So, to cut a long story short, I'm from the future, and I'm here to make sure you survive. With the fighter then explaining the events of the androids, Goku's future heart attack, and how everything will go down in the android saga. With Goku taking this all in, he asks for an idea of how strong the androids are, with the time traveler breathing in for a moment before letting out a scream. His eyes change colour and his hair spikes upwards, keeping its black colour, and he shows off his Akari form. And at this point, his power jumps up far above that, beyond Broly and Goku's, him explaining how the androids are stronger than him by a large amount. With this shocking Goku, and then Goku realizes something, that is the Akari form, and he just used it. Goku begins to ask more questions about this, and the person who had just transformed lets out a sigh, realizing what he's just done. Crap. Yeah, I forgot I wasn't supposed to do that. Well, I guess I can't keep it from you now. As you can tell, I'm Saiyan, or at least I've got Saiyan DNA. You see, I'm the son of Launch and Broly. I wasn't supposed to tell you, as it might mess with the whole timeline thing. Oh god, Trunks would be so angry, and Goten would never shut up about this. Look, you just can't tell them, please, as it might lead to me never existing. So, could this just be our secret for now? Goku, shocked at hearing this, he smiles a bit and agrees to keep it a secret. With this done, they talk for a while longer before the time travelers head back to the future. Goku warns the group about the upcoming threat of the androids, with everyone wanting to defend Earth. Well, most of them want to defend Earth and get straight to training. However, one person doesn't. He doesn't want to just jump into training, he wants to take in his other options, this being the likes of Zarbon, who currently doesn't want to defend Earth and just wants to jump ship and leave the planet. And after a few days, he shares this plan with Broly. And the likes of Broly is annoyed, and he lays into his father figure a bit, saying how the least they could do is help out and, defend Earth. The group who saved them from Frieza, the group that has led to them being able to have a better life so far. He's only spent a year on Earth, and it's better than all of his life out in space. And he believes it's the same for his dad, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Broly going on to say how he's found someone. He's found people he can call his friends. The first friends he's ever had. He's maybe possibly going to be starting his own family soon. And they're both happy here. And he knows, as much as he tries to hide it, he's enjoying his time on this planet as well. With Zarbon realizing that his adopted son is right, he had made friends with Bulma and Yamcha, and he even has made friends with Goku, Gohan, even Piccolo he likes. Zarbon lets out a massive sigh, explaining how if things are more intense than they anticipate, he owes him some really nice wine. With Broly agreeing while laughing, the two spend a moment just talking, realizing that they had actually got really accustomed to Earth life and actually really liked the people. Broly even realizing his feelings for Launch at this point. And soon the pair go and join Piccolo, Goku, and Gohan, and spend the next 4 years training with them. The likes of Goku, Gohan, and Broly all master the Akari form, and Broly manages to get his rage under control for now. Alongside this, the likes of Goku has started working on his next step in power. You see, he has fallen behind Broly. Broly's too much for Goku to keep up with at the moment. He's having to find a new way to outshine him. With him managing to get this new technique down, he's just looking forward to getting to use it. But the most interesting part I can cover about these 4 years is the birth of three new warriors, this being Trunks, the son of Bulma and Yamcha, Goten, who is the same here, finally Riku, the son of Launch and Broly. With all of these being born halfway through the 4 year skip. Riku is a play on words of takeoff. I've just taken two letters off. I just thought it would be fun, launch Riku, takeoff. It's pretty funny to me. And also, it's just a pretty easy name to say. With Brody getting super excited about having a child, with him hoping to give this kid a great life, or at least a better life than the one he had to live. Alongside this, as much as he doesn't show it, Zarbon loves young Riku. From the moment he saw him, he loved the child. Riku reminds him a lot of when Broly was a child, and he wants to give Riku a better life than what Broly had as well. And he wants to try and be the best adopted granddad he can be. Now, after the 4 year time skip, everyone had grown loads stronger, and everyone's new power levels of the group is Broly in the lead with a power level of 1 bill in base, and when using his Akari form, it goes up to 10 bill. He is the strongest in the group, and this is just because of how he works, his genetics and all of that. Next is Goku, who has a power level of 900 mil, and he has managed to keep up with Broly just a small bit thanks to getting his potential unleashed back on Namek. And when he uses his Akari form, he goes up to 9 bill. Next is Gohan with a power level of 750 mil, and he's a bit stronger than his canon counterpart would be, and thanks to the fact he has the Akari form, he can go up to a power level of 6.5 bill. And this means that he can keep up with his dad to a good degree. Following along behind them is the likes of Zarbon. Zarbon's a weird one to place. We don't really understand how his race works too much. His biology and how he grows, his rate of growth is pretty hard to predict. So I've just ranked him quite similar to Piccolo, but he has one advantage over Piccolo, which is the fact he can transform. In base, Zarbon has a power level of 600 mil, and when he transforms, that goes up to 780 mil. Following along behind him is Piccolo, who's in a very similar spot of 600 mil. He managed to keep up thanks to having so many more training partners, and he is the weakest of the major group, but he can still keep up if need be. Finally is the humans, and I will just show their power levels on screen and just continue going forward. With the 4 years having passed, everyone regroups, and things here go very normal, up until the point where Goku gets ready to fight Android 19. Goku turns into his Akari form and he begins the battle with the android. Goku is going toe to toe with 19, not really losing any ground. Well, he's not losing any ground until the heart virus kicks in. Goku, like normal, hasn't taken his heart medicine, and this leads to him slowly losing the battle, and soon Broly has to jump in to save Goku. Yamcha, like normal, offers to take Goku back and get him the medicine while Broly fights off the android. With this being a very close match, Broly is able to hold his own against Android 19, and he holds a small advantage over the android, but soon Broly would win. However, there is an issue. Dr. Gero, once seeing Android 19 get destroyed, starts flying off at a breakneck speed. Everyone seeing this rushes off to try and keep up with him. With Broly being low on power, he is given a sense of being to catch up, and even though it's a minor one, he does get a small Zenkai, and he tries rocketing off to catch up with Dr. Gero, but the Doctor, for an old man, is fast, and is soon lost. Things here would go pretty normal, up until the point where the time travelers show up. You see, instead of there being one or two time travelers, we have three. The likes of future Riku, the likes of future Goten, and the likes of future Trunks have all showed up. Once they all catch a glance of what Dr. Gero looks like, they realise these aren't the androids they were looking for, and announce this to the group. They're more shocked to hear this, they all begin to panic a little bit, and Dr. Gero even shows himself briefly. And this gives the group a chance to try and catch him, but once again the old man is slippery and manages to escape. The group are now rushing off to catch Dr. Gero before he awakens the other androids, and Dr. Gero is moving as fast as he can to avoid being destroyed. But this is where I'm leaving this part, just here. It means that I can just cover the rest of this Android saga in the next part, and maybe even the 7 year skip. And I don't want to do a particularly long one today, so yeah, I just thought I would do this. I hope everyone enjoyed this, and I hope everyone likes what I've done with Broly and Zarbon. Zarbon has really taken up a role of Vegeta here, where he doesn't want to admit it, but he likes Earth. He's still a bit of a dick though, but he's changing a lot faster thanks to the fact that Broly is influencing him. And Broly has taken a bit more of a different role. He hasn't really got a role. He is just being Broly, and I'm looking forward to playing with him a lot more. And I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone takes to this part. I thought the name for Broly's son was pretty good. I think it's alright, and Riku is just a fun little name, and I think it's easier for me to remember. So yeah, like I said, I hope everyone has a great day or a good night, and hopefully you enjoyed this part, and I'll see you next time.